Howdy, y'all. Hey. I gotta see my face at least once in this video, unfortunately for you. Just a rule of mine. So, one thing I want to start doing more. Some of y'all probably saw I put a poll out like 2 months ago. Eesh. Asking, who do y'all want me to draw next? And top response was Goku. I'm going in order of most popular. So actually, if I pull, oh, jeez, almost not. I got a huge stack of comics over here that I set my stuff on top of. I really need to get a bin for them. But actually, if I pull up the results, so it says here that in order, it's Goku and then Sonic and then Mob, and none of you, and I'm talking to my subscribers personally because I know some of them personally here. None of you voted Luffy, and that kind of gets on my nerves a bit because it shows you have zero respect for my goat. So yeah. But anyways, I'm going in order of like who got voted. So Luffy's gonna be last. I hate y'all. Nah, I'm joking. Actually, so I have my reference pulled up here. There's this picture of Wim Hof that I saw that was really funny because he's basically just doing a Kamehameha wave. That's basically a Kamehameha wave charge up. So I figured we're gonna be drawing that. That's gonna be my reference picture. So my desk is a little messier. I actually got it cleaned off though. So I have my reference picture set up right here over to the side, and so we're gonna get to drawing. So first up, just let me get more supplies out of here real quick. I got this cool kit on Amazon. It's like $12. Comes with like colored lead, just all different sorts of types of lead. 3 of the same size pencil, I guess in case you lose one, but like I don't want the other ones to go to waste. So, you know, anywho, I got a kneaded eraser though, which is pretty sick. And then I got a sharpener for size 2mm. I got some erasers here, and I got extra reload erasers. So without further ado, I'm gonna be doing this in parts, maybe, because I wanna get some ink markers so I can like kind of ink it. But anyways, so using my reference image, and I got my handy dandy 0.5. So basically what I do when I start with the torso is I just draw a neat little box like so, and then here's where the ribs come up. Boom. He's kind of turned to the side a little bit more. He looks kind of like a beefed out George Carlin. Like George Carlin if he took Kung Fu or something, which is pretty funny. Boom, little circle that shows like, oh, there's a part in there that you can move around and twist a little bit, you know? Kind of like I own a lot of action figures, actually. A good example that I got recently, like earlier this week, is SH Figure Arts Romance Dawn Luffy. I found him at Target, and so I like to think of how like an action figure is structured when I'm drawing, like the way the joints are segmented and everything. Sometimes I'll even keep an action figure just for reference. Actually, I got some Goku figures up here. I got 3 ones up there, but that's a conversation for another day. Anywho, and then I'll just draw like a basic little kind of underwear shape right here for the pelvis. I see some people draw like the full bone structure and everything. That's a lot. It's a lot of detail for like stuff you're not gonna see. People are like, oh, you need to study how the skeleton's laid out and everything. It's like, you see them drawing it all out, and it's like, I could just kind of improvise the shape as opposed to drawing the whole thing skeletons. That would take a long time. All right, and Goku's got some, he's buff, so, you know, obviously he's got some huge shoulders. So I'm gonna draw some little circles in there. Okay, and maybe I'll draw some balls in for where the hips can move. Boom. Now arms, his arm positioning right here. Boom. And I'll just kind of draw in a basic shape like that for the hands. Worry about all the fingers and everything later. Here. Here. And then thumb goes right there. And his pinky fingers kind of separate from all the rest of the fingers. Boom. I hope my head's not getting, no, it's not getting in the way of the camera. Okay. And just a little kind of egg shape for the head. Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. Now, legs here. Boom, kind of same principle I got with the arms, where it's just some boxes or like cylinder type deals. Here, and circles for the knees. And actually I might want to extend that out a little bit. And boom. And I don't worry about making it too messy because this is all getting erased at some point. Now that I have a kneaded eraser, I don't have to worry about smearing all my lines around or them, you know, being too faded and then suddenly I can't see my guidelines at all. Kneaded eraser only like fades them a little bit, so it's like lowering the opacity in digital art, you know. Man, 8 minutes already. I better hurry this up. So, you know, little kind of oval-esque shape right there for his lower leg. Somewhere like a vase type shape, you know. Here, circles for the ankles. And then, boom. And there's a basic pose for right now. Now, I've drawn Goku probably in total at least in my entire art career of all my pages, I've drawn Goku probably at least like at least 500 times. Were all of them perfect? No. Were some of them just kind of rough? Yeah. Did I give up on some of them? Yeah. But the important part is I've drawn him over and over again. So I know the details of like each outfit and everything. I'm probably just gonna do his base and not end of Z, but like Buu Saga to Super outfit, where it's just like the orange gi. Oh, I broke part of it off. Just the orange gi with like no symbols or anything, because I'm not gonna lie, the symbols get kind of hard to draw sometimes. Now watch, you're gonna see what I mean when I say this stuff just kind of disappears. Look, not disappears, but like it becomes less dark. I gotta kind of go slow because I don't want to knock the tripod down. And it doesn't smear, so I could still separate what was on the paper. Or well, I could still separate the art from the background. Okay, and then, you know, need eraser, you just kind of stretch it back out, ball it up. You can do this again so you can mix in the parts covered in pencil. I don't know how often you need to replace kneaded eraser. Maybe that's something I should research. It's kind of fun to play with. Could do that for like hours. But, nay, I shan't get distracted. Is shan't a word? I don't know. Was that a word at any point in time, or am I making stuff up? Nope. I got my headphones to pick up audio better. I mean, I hope it picks up audio better. I don't know. Anyways, now I'm gonna start with the head. One thing that kind of throws me off about Goku drawing him is his hair. Something about his hair is just weird for me. Actually, one detail I've always liked about characters like Turles and Goku Black, like evil versions of Goku, is the fact that their hair, like if it's just a straight up front shot of him, will go in a different direction. So Goku's hair starts off like smaller on the right and then gets bigger on the left. But I'm pretty sure, at least, characters like Goku Black, never mind, I was wrong. Okay. Still, though, in theory, a cool idea, but I was incorrect, so, oh well. Okay, but we got a basic head shape drawn in there, and then I just need a little reference. Okay, sorry, I gotta talk about this real quick. But I collect action figures. Y'all probably know this. And one thing that always upsets me is the fact that SH Figure Arts will release these, like, first Super Saiyan transformation figures of Goku, and it's always like the half-ripped blue shirt or the like shirtless, but it's never the full blue shirt. That's because that's the outfit he had when he first turned Super Saiyan, and that's like the best one. And they haven't made like I got a statue of it, but I want like a figure, you know, like an SH Figure Arts. I don't know. Can't always get what you want though, it's fine. You always have like customization and stuff. Okay, I'm trying to find a good reference photo here. I need to just pick one. Here we go. Good old OG. These proportions low-key weren't it, dog. Dude, who's even built like that? This is a high-waisted man. I don't know. Anywho, not important right now. So his hair kind of curves away from his head a little bit. And you got a small spike, a big spike. Boom. Actually, I should probably draw in the ears first. Boom. That. Okay. And then, see over here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Pretty good. All right, we got okay, his bangs are what really gives me trouble usually, but it shouldn't be too hard. Now that I got an actual reference image here, Perfect. Boom. There we go. All right. That's his head. Now I need to do his face. So one thing that always threw me off about Dragon Ball faces was the nose, especially drawing them from the head on. They always kind of threw me off. So I usually just kind of try and wing it. So like, it's here, here. Okay, boom. Pretty good. So let me go look back at the reference image. What was Wim Hof's facial expression? Okay, he's got this kind of concentrated look. All right. That's what we'll do for Goku then. Boom. Here. Here. Boom. You know, his Dragon Ball characters are always cross-eyed. They're always cross-eyed, dog. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of seeing this. Oh, I thought it was saying Goku's a bad father. Okay, opinion on the Goku bad father thing. Dude that is willing to almost die or full on die for his son that many times? How can you call that guy a bad father? Plus, I'm pretty sure he did a decent job in raising him, you know? I mean, after a while, Goku finally acknowledged it, like, oh yeah, Gohan's different. He doesn't like fighting as much as his old man over here. And that's fine. Boom. Only 2 or 3 shots. I'm gonna show you how. I'm not again from both. Boom. I'm worried he's coming out a little bit too skinny. So before I go, first off, let me draw some traps in for him. And his collarbone. Boom. His pecs. Okay. Okay, now before I go any further, let's get his shoulders. One thing that I also kind of struggle on sometimes is doing the sleeves over the shoulders. Bicep. I need to. Boom. One thing I like to do a little bit in art is, no, that doesn't look right. Draw like crossovers. So like, my favorite ones to do crossover stuff, one of my favorite ones to do crossover stuff with is My Hero Academia. Like I've crossed Mob Psycho over, I've crossed over Marvel characters. Like I don't write full, well, that's not true. I do think up full-fledged stories. I never write them down. But like I'll do art sometime. One of them was One Piece in My Hero Academia where Luffy ends up beating up Endeavor, like Prime Endeavor, pre-redemption arc. because I'm just being truthful. I don't like him. Not one bit. He is a severely abusive man who has a lot of issues he didn't work out before getting into a relationship, and therefore ended up taking him out on his significant other. And by that point, it's like, I don't want to see him get therapy. I need to see him get folded like a lawn chair, you know? So I need to... Fingers looking a little choppy there. I forget I got an eraser in here for more precise stuff. Actually, I'm just going to leave this part off so I stop forgetting that. Boom. See? You just don't jab it in too far and it'll hold on to that. It's a little steamboat now. Okay. Boom. Boom. Part of me feels like finger might just be a tad long. Maybe if I just push that knuckle back further. That's perfect right there. Okay. But yeah, no, Endeavor did horrible things to pretty much every member of his family, so, you know. Honestly, the beatdowns kind of deserved. Okay, and I remember in that hospital scene where he's in the hospital after fighting, oh, what is it, Toya? And he's like crying and stuff. And he's I gotta get that, man, 21 minutes, 22 now. I gotta hurry it up. And it's like, they're trying to make us feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him, okay? Once the damage was already done, then he started to feel a little bad. But he didn't even think about, like, really apologizing to everyone until, well, okay, that's not entirely true. Like, I acknowledge that he's got good writing and good character development and a good redemption arc. Only problem is that, like, the public pretty much just brushes off what he did. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any significant repercussions for his actions. Not a huge fan of that. Boom. Boom. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about Endeavor before I get a little bit too heated. I notice every Dragon Ball character's got a kind of high-waisted look to them. Like, their legs just go up higher, and I think it's because all their pants come up, but, like, it's especially bad on characters like Future Trunks, whose torso makes up about, like, what, 17% of his body? You know, isn't very accurate proportion-wise. Boom. I'm just focused on very basic elements so far. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break this up into parts because I do not want a video that's too long. Okay, it's pretty decent so far. Boom. 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 Okay, and that's the very basic rundown, like, drawing of Goku. And now I can kind of come in and just erase all this stuff up a little bit more. Like, get it out of there. Excuse me. It's okay if I accidentally erase some bits of the actual drawing, because I just looked at his hand again. That is not right. I'm going to fix that. Okay. I think I got a problem with making hands too skinny. It needs to be wider, so that way there's more space to properly accommodate all the fingers. Middle finger being the longest. Of course, it's such a human thing to evolve, or like we notice the longest finger on our hand is the one we use to tell people to F off. Very, very funny thing that just occurred to me. Like, we just were like, oh, hey, it's the longest one. I guess I'll use that one to express my distaste for someone. Okay. Alright, so that's just very basic for right now. I'm gonna come in and do some cleaning up and stuff later. So, peace.